On the banks of the James River, Week 10 of USL League One action kicks off in City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, as the Richmond Kickers host the Chattanooga Red Wolves SC for their second meeting of the season, presented by Goo Crops. Hi everybody, John Gross with you on this Wednesday night in Richmond, Virginia. Let's take a look at the league table as we enter Week 10. Chattanooga sitting in that 4th spot. 11 points for the Red Wolves at 3-3-2. And just a little bit further down, Richmond Kickers nestled at 7 with 8 points, just 3 points behind Chattanooga, so a win would go a long way for the home side. And speaking of the Richmond Kickers, if they're going to win today, they'll need a balanced scoring effort. Emiliano Terzaghi bagged that goal last weekend against North Carolina FC. He has 4 goals. His entire team only has 4 goal scorers, something that Darren Sawatsky really emphasized. We need to lessen the load on our reigning MVP and our reigning Golden Boot winner. Other guys need to step up and find the back of the net. And for Chattanooga, they come on the road, and their numbers have been pretty good this season, but the results maybe haven't been exactly what Jimmy Obleda has wanted to see from his squad. 3 losses, all 3 of which have come in the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time. Just some costly errors late, like this takedown inside the 18 that ended up being a loss against FC Tucson. If they're going to come away with a win this season, if they're going to be competitors this year, they'll need to do a better job finishing out games and not concede goals late like they did last week against Greenville. We'll have kickoff, lineups, and more for you in just a few minutes. It is Chattanooga Red Wolves SC and Richmond Kickers live, coming up next on ESPN+.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about you're being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the U-Crops brand stands for.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, President of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers. Whether you are a candidate seeking a new career opportunity or a company searching for talent, Prospect Blue will help you ensure that today's transitions lead to growth and success.
Prospect Blue is proud to be a corporate sponsor of the Richmond Kickers.
Go Kickers!
Back here at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, Richmond Kickers, Chattanooga Red Wolves just about set for kickoff, brought to you by the YMCA of Greater Richmond. This is the second meeting of the season between these two sides. It's been a series that has been historically in favor of Chattanooga, 7-2 all-time in favor of the Red Wolves. And this is from earlier this season. Back on April 16th, Rafa Mensingen sends it centrally, finds the foot of Mo Espinoza. A little bit of a stumble after scoring there. Nonetheless, a 1-0 victory for the Red Wolves in Chattanooga on the turf. Now, they have to come on the road today, but they did get the job done earlier this season. Again, the 7th all-time win for Chattanooga against Richmond. The Kickers have only beaten the Red Wolves 2 times, and these two sides in their previous 9 matches have never drawn. Here is the Richmond Kickers starting 11, a 4-3-3 look for them. And a couple of players making their first start of the season. Simon Fitch and Vincenzo Candela making their first start. And a big returner, Jonathan Bolaños' first start since the opener. He has an assist on the season, somebody who Darren Sawatsky is really excited to have back. And for Chattanooga, a couple of changes. Tor Saunders makes his first start in goal since the opener. Brian Beeman, who missed the last 4 matches, back as well. And as you see, Josue España, he played the full 90 for the first time all season last week. Scored a goal earlier this year, a guy who Jimmy Apleta was very high on. Really likes the way that he's been playing as of late. And he is rewarded with his 4th start of the season. There is Richmond, the Kickers, in their white kits, and for good reason. It's about 90 degrees in Richmond, Virginia. Need a look at Emiliano Terzaghi, the back-to-back reigning MVP, back-to-back reigning Golden Boot winner. Already has 4 goals this season, including a conversion last weekend in the 2-1 Richmond Kickers lost against North Carolina. A sweltering evening, a midweek tilt. 10th all-time matchup between these two clubs. It's been a series dominated by the visitors in red. 7-2 all-time. Off we go. It's Richmond and Chattanooga kicking off week 10. And an early whistle to get us started. Both of these sides had very rough months of May. They're both, I'm sure, thrilled that the calendar has turned to June. Chattanooga had just 1 win in May. Richmond winless in May. Richmond fresh off of a 2-1 loss against North Carolina. They got that 13th minute goal from Terzaghi, but Garrett McLaughlin, who ended up being named League Player of the Week, had a brace in the North Carolina victory. Here's Zaka Moran. Ball blasted forward by Jalen Chrysler. A little too hot to handle, just out of the reach of Jonathan Bolaños, but it'll be interesting to see how Bolaños looks out there. Darren Sawatsky, when we spoke to him earlier this week, he said Bolaños really came out of the gates flying and unfortunately suffered an injury in Open Cup action. Had to miss 5 matches, came back as a substitute last weekend. He's an assist this year in his 3rd season with Richmond. There's Andres Hernandez. Gets it right back from Espinoza. Lofted ball, Terzaghi, and a little bit of an early start. He was offside, but he's so dangerous, and they're going to try to find him in all sorts of situations, and Jimmy Apleta knows that. He said the key to any time you take on Richmond, especially today, is to contain Terzaghi, and even before containing him, simply deny him service. That ball was, in fact, over the touchline for a throw. Red Lombardi, 3-time League One Team of the Week selection. Big toss to Beeman, who missed the last 4 matches. Jose Carrera Garcia, who was suspended last match, the red card, and a whistle. And how about this, an early free kick for Chattanooga in the 3rd minute. There's a down Red Wolf. Match referee is John Motto, assistant referees Jordan Davis and Robert Cordry, and our 4th official is Matt Franzi. Espinoza and Ray Ortiz direct the attack. Ball in from Ortiz, drills it right into the wall. Still life here as España plays it centrally and takes the deflection out for a goal kick for Akira Fitzgerald. Look back at this. Just a low drive, well played by that wall. España able to get that cross in, but not all too threatening. The vicinity of Villalobos. Espinoza couldn't get rid of it cleanly. Pressure on Fitzgerald, but he is unfazed and not a shock. He's as experienced as you'll find in this league. He's seen it all, he's done it all. The fourth-year keeper for Richmond. Down goes Carrera Garcia. Captain, who they are thrilled to have back in the 11, but a little slow after that contact. You see number 10 right side of your screen. Something to monitor for this one. Hernandez takes a deflection out for a Chattanooga throw-in. Well, it was just one win for the Red Wolves in the month of May. They're a mere 1-3-1 last 5 matches, and you just saw Carrera Garcia seems to be okay. But this was a side that got off to a scorching hot start. They were 2-0-1 to open the campaign. And they've hit a bit of a lull since then, as Villalobos came in a little hard. And a foul the other way as Ethan Bryant drew the contact. 5th appearance of this season for Bryant, his 3rd time in the starting 11. Quickly in the reset, and out of the reach of Jonathan Bolaños, who again is back in the starting 11 after missing some time. Beeman came in through the air, and surely a foul. Will it be more than that? Doesn't appear that it will, but there is a down Richmond player. And there is the yellow on Brian Beeman.
Yellow card issued to Chattanooga, number 41.
In his return to action, Beeman is booked. As John Matto shows the yellow card. And Stephen Payne is helped to his feet. We'll look back at this replay brought to you by Greenswell Growers. And yeah, that was some pretty solid contact in the air. And it was Stephen Payne who took the brunt of it. One of just 2 players who has played every second this season for Richmond Kickers. He will remain in the pitch, so that streak stays intact. And we get back to it in the 9th minute. Dangerous there as Bolaños won that header. Heavy touch from Benton, nearly turned it over. And it's played back to Tor Saunders. Almost a disaster for Chattanooga. Able to work it away from this high press. Espana leaves it Espinoza. 1-on-1 with Simon Fitch in Fitch's first start of the season. Espinoza plays it through. Espana rolls centrally and Fitzgerald falls on it. Quite the juxtaposition in keeper matchups. It's Akira Fitzgerald, fourth-year man, the reigning League One Keeper of the Year. And again, a hard foul as Terzaghi was fouled from behind. And John Mato will slow things down. Richmond wanted to work quickly after the whistle. We've already seen one yellow. And let's look back at this last attempt. Espinoza laid it for Espana, who had started that break and tried to find Beeman, making a run on frame. But you have Fitzgerald in net for Richmond, the reigning League One goalkeeper of the year. On the other side, it's Tor Saunders, who has not played since the opener. The Seattle native allowed a goal and a couple of saves against Forward Madison in week 1 of the season. So Carlos Aviles does not get the start today for Chattanooga. There's the ball in, flutters, and Fitch cuts it away with his head. Foot race. Simon Fitch, some room to work with. Lays it ahead for Bolaños. Already 1 assist in the season. And he finds the head of DJ Benton. So we'll have our first WW Nash & Sons Incorporated corner kicks. But first, let's look at our Bon Secours injury report. And Richmond kickers for the first time this season, they are healthy. And a slew of players out for Chattanooga. Perhaps most notably, David Teixeira, who has a couple of goals this year, second straight match that he has missed. As this corner kick is in towards the back post and headed away. Stephen Payne lofts the top of the 18. Bolaños tracked after it, but Beeman was taken down in a whistle before. There is Brian Beeman, who was issued a yellow card earlier in this one. Nicholas Cardona. Pressure comes. Cardona, who was just recently listed on the Puerto Rican CONCACAF Nations League side. So international duty in the works for Cardona. There was Darren Sawatsky, and despite the 90-degree weather, he is still sporting the all black. That is a man dedicated to a look. You got to respect it, right? Unfazed by the heat. Does have the short sleeves on today. And a whistle away from the ball. That's Ray Ortiz getting checked on. Stretching out that hand of his. They're going to bring the medical tape out for him. Just the third start of the season for Ortiz, the second-year man with Chattanooga. Ortiz. It's back to it. As doing this match is Bolaños. Receives a very well-placed ball. He's been very active in the left flank. Tries to work his way around Hernandez and cannot do so. And Ortiz makes his way back on the pitch. Again, third start of the season for the man who was born in Mexico but raised in San Diego, California. Espinoza gets it back in the 1-2. Espinoza, the league leader in assists. Has 4 assists this year. He's also tied for 7th in chances created. He's had a tremendous season this year for Chattanooga, really being the orchestrator. Villalobos controls, lays it ahead for España. Carrera Garcia, and certainly some contact. Espinoza leaves it forward for Beeman. Villalobos. Out for a throw, a little bit ahead of Lombardi, who was pushed up. And there is Jimmy Obleda, who also has a very routine look. He'll wear that white button down and the thin black tie, and whistles in the midfield, and a booking, much to the dismay of Vincenzo Candela in his first start of the season.
Vincenzo Candela in the 17th minute.
Let's see. Watch 99 come in. Studs up tackle on our Greenswell Growers replay. And the card comes out from John Mato. So a yellow card awarded to a player on both sides in the first 18 minutes of this one. And again, a down Red Wolf. There is Candela, the midfielder out of Bogota, Colombia. And Jimmy Villalobos back on his feet. You can see the players getting rehydrated. That'll be very important for this one. A scorching hot night in Richmond. And remember, both these teams played over the weekend, so, and they play again on Saturday. Something that these two coaches talked about, having to manage their roster, their player rotations with 3 matches in 7 days. This is a stretch that Jimmy Obleda referred to as our gauntlet, with so many skilled opponents in such a short amount of time, so that he certainly influences his substitutions, his training regimens for the week. A lot of rest, a lot of recovery. As Villalobos paces ahead, works it wide for Lombardi. Lombardi can't get the cross in, out for a Chattanooga throw. Quickly in for España, tried to flick it. Bolaños, pretty solid ball in the first touch. Well played by DJ Benton, the youngest player on this Chattanooga roster. who was the only one who's played all 720 minutes entering today. And a bit of a tie-up just past the midline between Beeman and Chrysler. And Beeman has to be careful. He already has a yellow card to his name. Really well-placed ball for Bolaños, who works his way around Hernandez. Bolaños takes a deflection out for a second WW Nash & Sons Incorporated corner kick. There is Torres Saunders, just his second appearance of the season. Had a tremendous college career at Coastal Carolina, was an all Sun Belt player, all Sun Belt newcomer of the year. Right now on loan from Nashville. As Ethan Bryant readies on the WW Nash & Sons corner kick. Second of the first half for the home side. In swinger to the backside. And Espana works it away. Donati, riding us in the throw, played the full 90 of the weekend, had a yellow card, big toss, and missed everybody for a Torres Saunders goal kick. There's some members of the Red Army. It's a midweek match, but we know what this stadium could look like. A tremendous atmosphere, and Chattanooga head coach Jimmy Ableda had very high praise for City Stadium. He said this is his favorite stadium in League One. He just loves the old school aspect of it. Says there's just so much personality in the stadium, great history and character. He loves playing here. And beyond all of that, he loves playing here. Just they've had a lot of success. It's clear that his side enjoys playing against Richmond, 7-2 all time against the Kickers. And despite the lopsided series history, these have been close matchups. Only one matchup decided by more than one goal. Here is Bolaños. Bolaños lets it rip and clears the woodwork. Did take a deflection for a third WW Nash & Sons corner kick, but man, Darren Sawatsky was very excited about the return of Bolaños to the starting 11, and for good reason. We're seeing his impact in this first 23 minutes. And you have to appreciate the confidence, the willingness to just let it rip for a man who's missed so much time this season. In-swinger took a couple of hops and is scooted away momentarily. Pushed right back in by Zacamaran. And Cardona hit the deck just outside the 18. It'll head the other way. There is Cardona, who's just named to the CONCACAF Nations League roster for the Puerto Rican men's national team. He'll be in action on June 9th against the Cayman Islands. Not the first time that he's been called up on international duty. And 4 national team caps with the Puerto Rican national team in World Cup qualifying. Villalobos nearly had the takeaway. Instead, it's Bolaños. 1-1 on Hernandez. Bolaños splits inside. Still Bolaños probing, lays it ahead. You could see the idea from Bolaños, but his activity has been superb in this first half so far. Really good stuff for the man making his first start since the opener. Dodges not one defender, but two defenders, and then tried to play it through. You can see what he was trying to do, just not on the same page as Leonardo Baima. A couple of South American players. But you have to like the movement, the activity from Bolaños if you're Richmond. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official matchball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. Bolaños tracks under it. He's the first one to it. Jonathan Bolaños tried to hook up with Bryant. Well played defensively. And Fitzgerald comes way off his line. Took a bit of a risk there, and all he could do is just send it out for a throw. As Darren Sawatsky looks on, the 30-year head man for Richmond, who last year finished 5th in the league. First USL League One playoff appearance. The throw-in awarded to Richmond. First of 4 consecutive home matches for the Kickers. There is Jimmy Ableda. Going to turn things around after a rough month of May. Take down just along the touchline. Ortiz was again the one down to the turf, but he's back on his feet. Chattanooga coming off of that 1-0 defeat against Greenville Triumph, and that's a team who, well, they've had a lot of success against Richmond. It's been the opposite against Greenville. They've really struggled. Second time this season they lost to Greenville 1-0. Just unable to get that breakthrough goal, and they nearly had one while Leffy, who is not in the starting lineup today, they want to give him a little time to rest. Missed a penalty kick, and just minutes later, Greenville had that go-ahead and eventual game-winning goal. Jimmy Ableda said the big thing for him, he was just disappointed with the result because he felt that it was arguably their best game this season. They had some opportunities to put it away, but just could not do it. But he says he gained some comfort from the fact that they still are improving and playing some good soccer. Here's an opportunity the other way for Richmond. Bolaños splits past one. Bolaños with space. Jonathan Bolaños making this back line look silly. Watch him work on Hernandez. Tried to come near post on Saunders. This first half hour has been the Jonathan Bolaños show. Ortiz skies it. Espinoza, quality touch. Espinoza inside the 18, tries to cut it back. Now Hernandez, his cross, redirected out. And Brian Beeman is slow to his feet now. First Chattanooga corner kick on the way. It's Espinoza, the league leader in assists, who will send this in. Back in the starting lineup after entering as a substitute last weekend. As Ortiz short if he wants to work it to him. He'll send this inside the 18. Pops out to Espana. Terzaghi, the one to turn and boot it away. And there is a whistle. John Mato wanted to play the advantage if there was one to be played. And a yellow is shown. It's DJ Benton who has issued the yellow card.
Number 18, DJ Benton, in the 31st minute.
And here is that foul from Benton. Watch 18 come in. Dangerous tackle. A booking on our Greenswell and Growers replay. So now Benton has a yellow card, as does Brian Beamont. And these two sides will have a hydration break. And a well-deserved hydration break. It is in the low 90s in Richmond. This is something that we expected to see. There is DJ Benton, who has just issued that booking. But this is what it'll be for much of this season. We're getting towards summer, first night of June. It's going to be hot. And a great promotion coming up this weekend here in Richmond. The dog days of summer are here. June 4th, Richmond Kickers hosting Tormenta. All dogs are welcome. So if you have a pup, bring them out. That is this Saturday night at 6:30 p.m. at City Stadium. I mean, who doesn't love dogs? Who doesn't love soccer? So just combine both of them and make it the best night of the year in Richmond. It is the Dog Days of Summer night, and I wish I could be there for that one. That is going to be a thrilling event. So bring your canines to the park and check out some high-quality League One action. Richmond Kickers hosting Tormenta FC this Saturday night. And what will be a really, really fun environment. You know what City Stadium can be when it's full. We saw earlier this year, Open Cup play. The Red Army packed that place. And a historic venue, a great venue, home of a historic club, the longest continuously operating professional soccer club in the country, Richmond Kickers. So we'll get back to it after the hydration break. There's a fan getting hydrated. A little bit of a different beverage, but hydrated nonetheless. On the restart, it's Bolaños who works it back. And again, Bolaños the one to watch today. His first start since the opener. He came on as a substitute against North Carolina. He had missed the previous 5 matches. But what a return to the starting 11 it has been for number 17. Good turn from Ethan Bryant. Zaka Moran slips it forward. It's Bolaños, and Sanger's got a foot on it. Second shot, third shot for Bolaños. And we'll look back at this. What a feed from Zaka Moran, the Argentine midfielder. And he found Bolaños, who Tess Torr-Saunders. First save of the night for Saunders. And another WW Nation Suns corner kick. This one in, and it finds the net. Nathan Awney, his first of the season. And the second-year Red puts his side up early. It's a set-piece goal, and the Red Army erupts. And the 6'4" Nathan Awney off a tremendous service from Bryant. He leaps, he connects, and he dials up the first goal of the night on our Greenswell Growers replay. And the biggest target they have, the tallest man on this roster at 6'4", as his first goal of the season. As we hit on in the open, only 4 goal scorers this year for Richmond. They now have a 5th. That was the major key laid out to us by Darren Sawatsky. He said that we need to find ways to lighten the load for Terzaghi, who has 4 goals. And there's a way to do it. You get someone else on the scoreboard. And a substitution on the way.
Chattanooga substitution, departing the match.
This is a concussion substitution, and it's Brian Beeman who comes off. Remember just a few minutes ago, he took a tumble inside the 18 and was slow to get up, and it's Juan Galindres who comes on in his place. It's our first James River orthodontic substitute. Here is Bolaños with room to operate. Jonathan Bolaños, 1-1 on Carrera Garcia. Now back to Candela. Vincenzo Candela drives it off of the side of Hernandez. So another WW Nation Suns corner kick. Remember just minutes ago, it was a 35th minute goal on this exact corner flag. Drilled in by Nathan Awney. Now on the backside, it's another one. And it's another 6'4" man, Jalen Crisler. Back-to-back corners. Back-to-back goals. And the 2 giants in the back come up big in the front. Ball in, beautifully played, and again, it is a 6'4" man out of the great state of Washington. This time it's Jalen Crisler, just a couple minutes removed from Nathan Awney, and it's 2-0 Richmond. And it's his first goal as well. So 6 different goal scorers for Richmond. They have increased their goal scoring diversity by 50% in the first 38 minutes of this one. What a start. What a few minutes for Richmond. Couple of goals. Last few minutes, both off assists by Ethan Bryant. His first and second assists of the season. And there is Jalen Crisler, who was not in the squad last weekend against North Carolina. Another second-year man for Richmond. This has been inspired play in the first half. Galindrez, late whistle. And again, an injured Red Wolf. And again, it's Ray Ortiz, who's had a rough going, feeling a lot of contact today. Jimmy Ableda animated in his chat on the touchline. Espinoza got a foot on it. Down he goes, no whistle. Terzaghi tripped up from behind. It's Carrera Garcia on the foul. Captain versus captain. There is Terzaghi, who has carried this team now at his third season with the club. Last 2 years, MVP, Golden Boot, and again a whistle. This has been a physical first half. There, good sportsmanship shown. Stephen Payne back on his feet. Lofted ball, Terzaghi. Oh, nearly got a foot on it to settle. A break for this back line. Lombardi. It's a lot behind it. No issues for Akira Fitzgerald, who really hasn't been tested much today. He sniffed out one cross, but the seasoned veteran from Japan is having another remarkable season. 3-time Team of the Week selection this year. The reigning goalkeeper of the year in League One, who last year made history as the first goalkeeper in League One or USL Championship to lead the league in saves and clean sheets in the same season. A well-placed header for Terzaghi. He'll slow things down. Now it's Simon Fitch. Again, a throw in deep in this final third. Nathan Awney, Reddy's on the toss. He was the one who got the scoring started in the 35th minute on his corner kick header. Just a few minutes after that, it was Jalen Chrysler. Big toss from Awney, and it's centrally. And Ethan Bryant whistled. His contact airborne. Bryant has 2 assists so far. Both those corner kicks taken by number 8. Look back at this. First a header by Cardona, and then the contact on Villalobos. As Tor Sanders works it out of his back end, it has been a tough start to Tor Sanders' night. He got the start in favor of Carlos Aviles. Here's a takeaway, here's a chance. It's Bolaños wheeling and dealing off the foot of Saunders. Nearly a third in this first half. The build-up was there, the finish was not. But what a save by Saunders. His second kick save of the night. A Greenswell Growers replay. And Bolaños, who has come oh so close on now multiple occasions, nearly put one in. Here's another corner. They've scored twice on him. Won't have one here. Ortiz looks to lead the counter. The speedy Ortiz just runs out of real estate. Sawatsky looking on his crew. A very impressive first 45 as we make our way towards stoppage time, which we might see an extended stoppage time with the amount of fouls, and we had 2 goals, a hydration break. Ortiz. Ball taken away by Leonardo Baima. Good contest by Baima.
Ladies and gentlemen, fourth official indicating 6 additional
And yes, as expected, a lot of time in stoppage time. 6 minutes of stoppage time. That's brought to you by Greenswell Growers. Galindres makes a turn. Probing for options, leaves it for Villalobos. Espinoza, his cross, cut away. Chattanooga looking for something to salvage this first half. A team that are no strangers to comebacks. Espinoza is down, wincing in some pain. They'll play on. Bolaños. Good tackle from Hernandez. One by Fitch. Now it's Zaka Moran. And Saunders, nearly a costly mistake. Bolaños. Now Bryant was 2 assists already. This one punched centrally, comes to the foot of Ethan Bryant. Down he goes, works it back out. They'll reset things. Teed up and in! It's a third of the first half for Richmond. Baima! Oh my! It's been a dream first half. And Leonardo Baima just adds to it. And a nightmare for Chattanooga. Watch this. Leonardo Baima, an absolute strike. 3rd goal of this first half. It's a stoppage time conversion. And the man who started his career at La Bombonera in Buenos Aires, the former Boca Juniors man, has a tremendous strike under Greenswell Growers replay. And it's his first of the season. 3 different goal scorers, all accounting for their first goal of the campaign. Darren Sawatsky wanted to see a more diverse attack, and boy, has his squad delivered. What a goal by Baima, native of Argentina, who again started his career in the Boca Juniors organization. Ortiz, dancing. Now it's Lombardi. He'll punch this in, and Fitzgerald's high points it. Is there more in store? As Bryant lofts it. Hernandez heads it away. You could not have scripted a better first half if you're Richmond. Looking to start off this extended home stretch with a big 3 points. They're 3 points behind Chattanooga, who sits in that 4 spot. So a win would bring them level. Galindres works it back. Espana. Lombardi. Baima, Reiningham. Lombardi. Now Villalobos. Espinoza. Just kind of tripped on his own feet there. Hernandez. A blast, and not much of a threat. And just nothing going for the visitors in this one. A side that has struggled as of late, just 1-3-1 in its last 5 matches after starting the season 2-0-1. Just being absolutely dominated. 7 shots for Richmond, 5 on target, 3 of which have been goals, and a mere 2 shots for Chattanooga, neither one of which have been on target. And there is the halftime whistle. To quote Meek Mill, dreams and nightmares. A dream first half for Richmond, a nightmare 45 minutes for Chattanooga. It is 3-0 Richmond Kickers looking to protect their home ground and snap a serious cold spell against Chattanooga. We are through 45 minutes. It is halftime, and our halftime score brought to you by Simplicity VoIP. 2 corner kick goals and an absolute blast from outside the 18 have Richmond Kickers sitting pretty at the midway point. What a first half for the home faithful. The Red Army thrilled. Darren Sawatsky thrilled as well. We'll have stats, highlights, and so much more for you after this on ESPN+.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, president of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers. Whether you are a candidate seeking a new career opportunity or a company searching for talent, Prospect Blue will help you ensure that today's transitions lead to growth and success.
Prospect Blue is proud to be a corporate sponsor of the Richmond Kickers.
Go Kickers!
Halftime here in the River City of Richmond, Virginia. Look at those beautiful visuals on the James River. And while we start Week 10, let's take a look back at some Week 9 highlights here in USL League One. And we start things off in Cary, North Carolina. North Carolina FC hosting Richmond Kickers. And early on, it is a breakthrough for Emiliano Terzaghi. 13th minute, he nets his 4th goal of this season. Another strong start to the campaign as the Red Army visiting faithful happy early on the road. But a little later on, Garrett McLaughlin off the back of his head on a corner kick levels things. Look back at this. That's a no-look goal. I don't know how we finished it, but the home fans will take it. McLaughlin will take it, and remember that name because just a few minutes later, he'd get another opportunity. A takedown inside the 18, a point to the spot, and a chance for North Carolina FC to take the lead. It's McLaughlin, it's a goal, it's 2-1. North Carolina FC, a brace for the man who now leads the league in goals on this season. And it's 2-1 North Carolina FC. Nil Vignoles had a chance, but Will Pulisic said, not today, not in my house. A last gasp effort. And that's it. 2-1 the final. North Carolina FC victorious over Richmond Kickers. We go one state over out to Tennessee. Chattanooga Red Wolves hosting Greenville Triumph. Chattanooga trying to exercise some demons. And early on, it was a promising start. This is in the second half. Rafa Mensingen taken down, a point to the spot, a chance to take that lead. And they go to Walefi, the man with the most appearances in club history, and he's turned away. Paul Christensen cradles it, and we are level 0-0. And just minutes later, this ball sneaks ahead of the back line. It's Leibovitz, his first professional goal. And Greenville Triumph continues their success against Chattanooga. 1-0 the final as the visitors pick up the win on the road. We go down to Georgia, South Georgia Tormenta. They host FC Tucson. Off of a free kick, a ball ricochets out. Tyler Allen. How about this strike? What a goal, and it's 1-0 FC Tucson on the road. How about it? Nothing that any keeper can do on that strike. An absolute wonder goal for the Hawaiian. And then just a few minutes later, trouble for FC Tucson as Tevin Shaw picks up his second yellow, and that was it. And for the final 50 or so minutes, FC Tucson was down a man. Tormenta, a couple of chances, but Carlos Marancio came alive. A bunch of big-time denials in the second half. One right there. Check out this stop as well. Knocks it away. How about another save? And that's it. FC Tucson, John Perlman on the road, a 1-0 victory, down a man for much of the match. And the nightcap out in Fresno, California. It is Fuego and a couple of saves by Phil Brino of Forward Madison. The Flamingos on the road, they needed a big-time performance from their keeper. They got one, a season-high 6 saves. And then the offense gets going. Jeremiah Strang, the Finnish striker. What a goal, one of the best goals of the season. And then in stoppage time, it's Vilian Bijev. The equalizer, a headed finish off a free kick, and that wraps up our night. What a weekend it was in Week 9. We'll preview this weekend next. And now this from the USL.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship Final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead, and all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
At Greenswell Growers, we combine innovative technology, sustainable practices, and a passion for local. With a commitment to plants first, we have unwavering standards for growing products that yield the best taste in order to create the happiest customers. Because everyone deserves access to clean, safe, nutritious food. Little Greens, Big Heart. Learn more at greenswellgrowers.com.
As we kick off Week 10, let's look at some USL League One news and notes. And Northern Colorado will make its home debut on June 8th when they play at Jackson Stadium on the campus of the University of Northern Colorado. It'll be the 23rd venue in League One history. And how about some international duties for some USL League One players? 9 call-ups for the Nations League and Africa Cup coming up this month. And our reigning player of the week, Garrett McLaughlin, the league leader in goals, now has 6 goals after his brace this past weekend. And a lot of players who you saw on the highlights from Week 9 listed on this Week 9 Team of the Week. And here is the scoreboard. It was an exciting Week 9. No match decided by more than 1 goal. A thrilling weekend. And speaking of a thrilling weekend, we probably should have another fun weekend ahead of us this Saturday. A 4-match Saturday in USL League One, and it starts in Richmond. First meeting of the season between Richmond Kickers and South Georgia Tormenta. These two teams are 1-1-1 in 3 matches in Richmond. Now, Tormenta has won all of its matches and scored all of its goals on the road, so that's a good sign for them. But they have a tough task going to City Stadium. Richmond, on the flip side, a congested week, but they get to stay home and try to use those home fans to their advantage as they welcome Tormenta to the River City. A congested week for Chattanooga Red Wolves as well as they host Union Omaha. This is the first meeting of the season between these two clubs. Now, it's been tough sledding for Union Omaha in Chattanooga. The Red Wolves are 2-0 all-time against Union Omaha in Chattanooga. In fact, Union Omaha has never scored a goal in 2 matches, a combined 3-0 score in the 2 matches in Chattanooga. A couple of teams looking to climb the league table. Second meeting of the season between Forward Madison and FC Tucson. It was a 1-1 draw earlier this year in the desert. And on Saturday at Breeze Stevens Field, they'll square off again. Forward Madison 2-0-2 at home against FC Tucson. They haven't lost to them in Wisconsin, and the last 3 meetings have ended in draws. And the one match that we did not discuss, it's the first ever League One meeting between Greenville Triumph and Charlotte Independence, a battle of the Carolinas. They did split a couple of preseason friendlies over the last couple of seasons. First half highlights and second half kickoff coming up next after this.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit RoyalNewKent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
At Greenswell Growers, we combine innovative technology, sustainable practices, and a passion for local. With a commitment to plants first, we have unwavering standards for growing products that yield the best taste in order to create the happiest customers. because everyone deserves access to clean, safe, nutritious food. Little Greens, Big Heart. Learn more at greenswellgrowers.com.
Welcome back into Richmond, Virginia. The sun sets on a sweltering hot evening. Our halftime brought to you by Simplicity VOIP. It is 3-0 Richmond Kickers leading the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Let's see how it happened. 35th minute, Nathan Awney on a corner kick from Ethan Bryant, and it's 1-0. All right, good start for Richmond. Good start, about to become a great start. Deja vu? Yeah, pretty much. On the backside, this time it's Jalen Crisler, another 6'4 defender from Washington. And again, off the service from Ethan Bryant. So it's 2-0. Already a great first half. Well, this great first half got even better. An absolute beauty of a goal. And it's Leonardo Baima sneaking it past Tor Saunders. Not one, not two, but 3-0 in that first half. And the shots reflect that scoreline to a T. 7-3 in shots, 5-0 in shots on target. You see the possession for Chattanooga, 58%. That's who they want to play. They want the ball on their feet. And a change in net. Carlos Aviles, who did not start today. This is his first time coming on as a substitute this entire season. Only match he did not play this year was the opener. Well, he is back in net after Tor Saunders allowed 3 goals
Richmond substitution
in that first half.
Game number 10, Neil Vigneault's departing number 99, Vincenzo Candela, in the 46th minute.
Substitution for Richmond. Neil Vigneault's hands on. He replaces Vincenzo Candela. Vigneault's 2 goals and an assist has been a major offensive piece for this club for the past 2 seasons. Changes for Chattanooga as well. We mentioned the change in net with Carlos Aviles now between the pipes. Sebastian Capazuki, who missed the last 2 matches, he's back on for Chattanooga. He replaces Andres Hernandez on that right back spot. And last but not least, Rafa Mensingen, dangerous offensive threat for this team, heads on for Mo Espinosa. So a trio of changes for Jimmy Ableda. Josue España leads it up the right flank. They're looking for that combination. 3-0 deficit, obviously not the spot that they want to be in, but if there's any club who has shown their knack for comebacks, it's this side. España works it back out. And Lombardi could not get to it. So 5 total substitutions brought to you by James River Orthodontics. 1 for Richmond, and 3 for Chattanooga. So 4 substitutions at the midway point. And Galintres whistled for the foul.
Chattanooga halftime substitutions. Departing the match, number 25, Tor Saunders.
Jalen Crisler slow to his feet. He was the second goal scorer.
Carlos Aviles.
Second matchup of the season between these 2 clubs, and we're thrilled to have you joining us on ESPN Plus, wherever you may be tuning in from. John Gross with you on this Wednesday night. Richmond just 2-7 all time against Chattanooga, but you see now with the 3-goal first half, they are +6 in goal differential at home this season. A strong start, to say the least. Just the second halftime lead of the season for Richmond. That's been a good omen for them. Last 5 League One matches, Richmond Kickers are 4-0-1 with halftime leads. Looking to add to this advantage, and a first touch for Aviles. In net, little bit of a mishandle, but he's able to cover it. Touch for Capazuki, who again had missed the last 2 matches. Lombardi This pass intercepted. Baima. Boy, that golazo in stoppage time. Now plenty of space for Villalobos. Galindrez stumbles. Carrera Garcia. Mensenkin. Rafa Mensenkin. Out wide, Lombardi. He'll play in the box. Targeting Galindrez. Well played by this very big and physical back line. You have a couple of 6'4" players, both of whom have scored. This ball sent down the line for Terzaghi. He'll hustle after it, and Aviles launches it. That's about all that he could do. Carlos Aviles, who allowed a goal last week, had 3 saves against Greenville Triumph. As you see the scoring summary, they all came late in that first half. 35th and 38th minute, both those were on corner kicks. And then it was Leonardo Baima, an absolute beauty. And as we highlighted in the pre-match, a major key for Richmond, not just tonight, but throughout the season, would be to find some diversity, some variety in their goal scores. They only had 4 goal scorers in their first 7 matches. Well, they found 3 different goal scorers today, all 3 of whom converted for the first time this season. So a welcome sight for Darren Sawatsky. Carrera Garcia, nifty moves, didn't work his way forward. This ball skied towards Ortiz, and heads over the end line for a goal kick. And that combination of the final third just has not been there today for Chattanooga. As the Red Army cheers on, they've had a lot to cheer about, that's for sure. Terzaghi nearly had a foot on it. He was limited to a mere 8 touches in that first half, and that was a huge key laid out by Jimmy Ableda. But other guys have stepped up today for Richmond. Pressure applied to Aviles. Ortiz tracks under it. Able to settle, keep it in play. Ray Ortiz looking for options. Down he goes, and that's just clean play, according to John Matzo. Lombardi. Carrera Garcia, it's the wide area. Numbers inside the 18, finds a foot of Galindrez. And after that first touch, just could not do anything with it. Nice slide by Carrera Garcia to keep it in this final third. And there is contact. And I believe that's again Ortiz. Or to be not Ortiz, but John Mato making his way over to Josue España. A little slow to his feet. We saw a very, very physical first half. And maybe this is the chance, the moment for Chattanooga to get on the board. Still a lot of soccer left to be played. A team that has struggled today with their connection to the final third. Set pieces often can be that great equalizer. Play 6 in the box. The approach from Ortiz. Guerrero Garcia dancing away. Now Ortiz again. Unable to get that cross in. Ortiz off a couple of bounces. Deflects out. Espana tries to chip ahead. And just could not sneak it through this potent back line. Down goes Bryant. Has 2 assists in that first half, both coming on those corner kicks. The title holders take the spotlight once again when New Mexico United travels to Orange County SC. Don't miss any of the action. Saturday, June 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Should be another good USL Championship matchup. Guerrero Garcia quickly on the toss. Espana sends it wide for Ray Ortiz. Marked by Simon Fitch. Now it's Espana. Tiptoes the end line. Ortiz plays it inside. Nearly found Mensingen. Galindres. Rafa Mensingen. A substitute to substitute. Mensingen sends it. Nobody there. And Bolaños is clipped from behind. John Matos issuing some stern words. And here is this cross from Ortiz, and watch Mensingen, number 7. Maybe a little bit, if he was a little bit taller, that might have been the first for Chattanooga. And hey, once you score 1, got a lot of time left, and Jamie Obleda and his Chattanooga club, they have a knack for comeback wins, but Darren Sawatsky and company trying to avoid that. They have a stout defense, second of the league in goals allowed, a mere 7 goals conceded this season. And thus far, none allowed today. Ortiz has to work his way around, and he's upended. And a yellow is shown by John Mato.
Yellow card issued to Richmond number 6, Zaka Moran.
Zaka Moran, who picks up the yellow. Moran, who's now started all 8 matches this season, gets his name in the book. This takes out Ortiz. Moran, the second-year man with Richmond. A lot of return players for this club. Cardona chips ahead. He's looking for Lombardi. Rafa Mens again. Nifty ability to get around a double team. Guerrero Garcia probing ahead, slips inside the box, tries to work his way around Simon Finch, and to no avail. That's 5-7 against 6-1.
Richmond substitution, departing the match, number 17, Jonathan Bolaños. Entering the game, number 7, Matt Bolduck, in the 60th minute.
Well, it was a stellar return to the starting 11 for Jonathan Bolaños. He will come off. He is replaced by Matt Bolduck. You see Bolduck on your screen. One of 3 players ever to with more than 50 matches played in this Richmond Kickers Club's history. A seasoned veteran with this side, but he replaces Bolaños, who made the start. A really impressive performance. 3 first-half goals scored by Richmond Kickers. In a match that kicks off 4 consecutive home games for this side. You see those 3 goals were scored pretty late in the first half. 35th minute by Ani, Chrysler in the 38th, and then in stoppage time, it was Baima. Richmond back at home, as you see on the screen, this Saturday, 6:30. The Dog Days of Summer match. You can bring your dog out to the stadium and welcome Tormenta. 4 matches on Saturday. Should be another fun weekend in League One action. First touch for Matt Bolduck. Works Payne. Payne plays centrally, and no issues for Carlos Aviles. As a substitute for the first time this season. But you look at the way that this one has progressed, and Darren Sawatsky, oh so familiar with Chattanooga and their style of play. He acknowledged that they're a very feisty club. We know that they're going to be wound up. We know that they're going to come out with a lot of energy, but he said that we're hoping that the grass and the bigger fields will allow us to really knock the ball around and take the energy out of them. I think some of those early goals, just those early possessions, maybe have done that. We still see that high press from Chattanooga, of course, but they're in quite the deficit. There is Matt Bolduck, that wonderful mustache. Mazuki whistled as he came around to the foul. Darren Sawatsky. And some MLS playing time with New England Revolution and Colorado Rapids back in the early days of MLS. Now it is 3rd season with Richmond. Just 2 coaches who has coached and now all 4 seasons of USL League One's existence. It's him and John Harkes of Greenville. Ball served in on a tee, and it found the head of Ani, who had a goal in the first half. Man, these set pieces have been something special today for Richmond Kickers. Scored 2 corner kick goals in the first half. Pretty good service right there as well. It's Rafa Mensingen paces with the double coming behind him. Quality contest from Ethan Bryant. And Mensingen perhaps a little bit frustrated. No doubt about it on that whistle. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and so much more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. A change on the way for Jimmy Ableda. A fourth substitution for the Red Wolves, Pedro Hernandez, who did not play against Greenville. He was available after being out of the squad for the prior 3 matches. He heads on for Aaron Lombardi. So it's Hernandez for Lombardi for Chattanooga. Just the 5th appearance for Pedro Hernandez, who again missed the previous 4. Intrad's unable to get there, and it's Nathan Awney who works it out of that danger area. Villalobos sends it wide. Physical tackle. Pedro Hernandez, his first touch. Looks to control against Bulldog. See who this throw-in is awarded to, and it goes to Richmond kickers. They were winless in May, but it's a new month, fresh slate, and it's still a long season. Nearly just about, what, a third of the way through this campaign. Have a lot of soccer left to be played. And this could be one that is a turning point. It's against a club who they've struggled tremendously against. Just 2-7 all time against Chattanooga entering today. They have a boatload of matches coming up. They return back home against Tormenta. They remain home for 2 more against Charlotte Independence in Northern Colorado. So this could be that stretch for Richmond kickers where they find success, they get hot, they get those points, and start to fight their way to the top of the league table. And what a night it is. To the beautiful sunset on the river, a historic stadium. And what do you know? Another corner kick on the way. A WW Nation Suns corner. And it's Ethan Bryant who will take it. That left corner flag was oh so friendly for Richmond in the first half. Bryant had a couple of assists. Found the heads of the 6'4" Awney and the 6'4" Chrysler, respectively. Is there another corner kick goal in store? And Aviles is able to corral it. Bolduc whistles on the slide tackle. Garcia. Contact from behind, it's Terzaghi. Came in quickly in the reset. Ortiz with 2 defenders towards him. Ray Ortiz in a precarious spot. And just well played. This back line has been stout, and you see the commitment from really all 11 players at defending. There's a reason why they're second in the league with just 7 goals conceded on the season. Ortiz does have it back. Melindres quickly out to Carrera Garcia. As we approach the 70th minute, it has been all Richmond kickers back in front of the home faithful. The Red Army has been in for a treat tonight. And Galindrez dispossessed by Ethan Bryant, who has 2 assists. Foot race. Played centrally towards Galindrez. Directed out of there. And it's scooped up by Nil Vignoles. And if you want to go beyond the Terzaghi storyline of him being the guy of this offense, and yes, he certainly has 4 goals this year for Terzaghi. And as you see Jimmy Ableda, that was what he said the key to this match was. We have to contain Terzaghi, deny him service. Well, Chattanooga's done that. Beyond him, you could look at Nil Vignoles, who has 2 goals and an assist. He didn't even play in the first half, and Richmond still were able to muster 3 goals. So that's a very welcome sign that really without their 2 top offensive threats, they were able to deliver 3 goals in the first 45 minutes. Hernandez. Cardona sends a targeted feed out to Espana. His cross sniffed out, no issues. Possession, unsurprisingly, dominated by the visitors, approaching 61% possession. That's the way that Chattanooga likes to play. They want the ball on their feet. Villalobos, Mensingen. Back for Mensingen. Back for Cardona. Hernandez. Cardona. There's not a lot of space. You have numbers behind the ball. Galindrez. Probing, plays it out wide. Cross worked inside the 18, and it's off the head of Ani. Comes to Carrera Garcia, and his rip didn't even get on goal. And a whistle. Well, we see more than just a foul. Trio of substitutions getting set to head on. Substitutions brought to you by James River Orthodontics. Stuart Ritchie heads on for Stephen Payne.
Richmond substitutions departing the match.
First time as a substitute for Ritchie.
Entering the game, number 91, Owain Gordon.
Owain Gordon heads on, replaces Ethan Bryant, who had a stellar first half, 2 assists. And last but not least, Luke Pavone enters, replaces Emiliano Terzaghi.
Number 32, Emiliano Terzaghi. Entering the game, number 14, Luke Pavone.
I don't think anybody would have believed me if I told you that Richmond would be up 3-0 and Terzaghi did not have any of those goals. And really had not been much of a factor in this one. Ball in for Ortiz, skips on frame, and Akira Fitzgerald, who hasn't been called upon much tonight, is up to the task. That's the only shot on target we've seen so far from Chattanooga. Now, last time these two teams played, it was really a role reversal. The 1-0 win for Chattanooga. Richmond did not have a single shot on target.
Chattanooga substitution departing the match.
And Jimmy Obleda will make his final substitution. Jorge Luna, the Venezuelan defender, on as a substitute for the first time this season. He replaces Jimmy Villalobos. And these two teams have to play again Saturday. They played this past Saturday, so really not a shock that both coaches are digging into their substitutes. Something that both coaches emphasize that, yeah, we're going to manage things a little bit different with 3 matches in 7 days. And it's a really warm night in Richmond. At kickoff, it was in the low 90s. Here's it, poor feed, interception. It's Pavone on frame. Avilés up for the challenge, but just sloppy play in the back end for Chattanooga. They look to counter. Hernandez all the way back. A match that is perhaps as surprising of a scoreline as you'll see, given the history between these sides, given the recent play of these two teams. And not to say that Chattanooga has played well the last 5 matches, just 1-3-1, but this is a Richmond side who didn't win a single match in May. Albeit they did have one postponed. They made their trip all the way out to Tucson, Arizona in the morning of the match. That one was postponed due to COVID issues. There is Luke Pavone. Donut goes down, given away. It's Pavone once more. He's hit from behind, some frustration, and a yellow.
Yellow card issued to Chattanooga.
So Cardona issued the yellow card. Here in the 77th minute, we'll look back at this. And it's Pavone who's been very active today as a substitute. One tripped up. The debut of the season for Luke Pavone. Cardona now with the yellow card to his name. And these set pieces have been magical tonight for Richmond. 2 goals on corner kicks. And even on some free kicks, they found themselves in some threatening areas. Vignoles alongside Baima. It's Baima as Blast clears the woodwork. Has 1 goal already, a stoppage time goal in the first half. Finani, who is now wearing that captain band, the goal in the first half. Pavone gives chase to it. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. There was a fan who had a nice little souvenir. We'll have to give that ball back, but still carrying it around the park. We'll have to toss it down to the pitch at some point. Bullduck. Moves it to the corner. Pedro Hernandez, one of 5 substitutes for Jimmy Ableda in the second half. And a booking. That's Baima.
Yellow card issued to Richmond at number 11, Leonardo Baima, in the 80th minute.
As David Olson stands ready to enter. Baima issued that yellow. He had the first half stoppage time goal. And here comes David Olson, who replaces Leonardo Baima, a James River orthodontic substitution. Ball in from Carrera Garcia. Fitzgerald got a fist on it. Espana chips ahead towards Luna. Benson good. Splits through a double. Down he goes, no whistle. And Cardona and Carrera Garcia just not on the same page. Final 10 or so minutes of this one. 3 first half goals for Richmond. It's been their kind of night. And June 1st is the first day of Pride Month, and the USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Through the Forever Proud project, the USL strives to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/foreverpride. Ray Ortiz maneuvers his way through a couple of would-be defenders. And his feet intercepted by Owain Gordon. And again, it's Ortiz. Leaves it ahead. Heavy first touch for Espana. Recovers, Josue Espana lays a cross in. Nobody there. And that combination, that connection, that continuity just has not been there for Chattanooga in the final third today. The good news for them is they'll get another crack at it this weekend as they host Union Omaha. Take away from David Olson. Olson with 2 on his right. Is there a 4th in store? Olson lost it, well played by Cardona. Comes out to Gordon. Gordon a rip! He said, why not? And Owain Gordon, a valiant effort, just offline. Hernandez taken off the ball by Baldock. And that's been just such an impressive part of the way that Richmond's played. Yes, the 3 goals have been wonderful for them. But the commitment to defend and limit chances for Chattanooga, really just limit any sort of connection to this final third, has been something very impressive to watch. And you can see the players they have behind the ball. It's 10 behind the ball. As Menzigan is dispossessed. Olson. Now Ortiz. And from behind. And Ray Ortiz has been living on the ground today. He's taken a lot of contact, but he's been very active with the ball on his feet. Luna. Hernandez lifts it, and Fitzgerald is there. No issues for the fourth-year Richmond Kickers keeper, who now serves as the club's goalkeeping coach. I asked Darren Sawatsky just kind of what stood out to him about the way that Akira Fitzgerald plays and presents himself, and that led to him being the goalkeeper coach. And he said just the experience that he brings, the calming presence. He's a great educator, and that's something that's hard to find. You have people who know about the position, but can you teach the position as well? And he said that Akira Fitzgerald can certainly do that. Also feels that since being named coach, it's helped Akira Fitzgerald, because now he has to talk about it and find the right way to impart his knowledge in others. And sometimes that kind of self-reflection improves yourself regardless of sport or career, whatever it may be. But Akira Fitzgerald's an absolute mainstay in Richmond. On goes Galindrez. Ortiz sends in a ball towards Galindrez. And it's out for a corner. It was Jalen Chrysler who won the aerial ball. He had the second goal of this one. Ball in from Ortiz. Headed out by Pavone. Espana flicks ahead. Had Mensingen making that run. And this ball just might have some helium in it. It's not leaving the air. Finally comes to the feet of Luna. Gordon showing off the leaping abilities. And Gordon nearly forced it the other way. Ortiz, they'll play the advantage. Ferrer Garcia has some space. Espana wide for Ortiz. He drives one in, pleading for a handball. Not gonna get it. And it's Owen Gordon leading the charge. Gordon tiptoes around one with Pavone on his right. Gordon cut away by Aviles. There was a fourth. Looked to be a surefire fourth. And Aviles did well to come off his line. Aviles did not get the start. It was Tor Saunders. Galindrez tries to work it forward. Luna. Now Hernandez. Pedro Hernandez, his cross. Headed away again, it's Chrysler. The center backs have been so good today. Ani and Chrysler, yes, they both have goals, but their job of this back line, just sniffing everything out, has been masterful. This ball in, Fitzgerald. Cradling it like a baby. In line for a clean sheet. And it's been a glorious night for the Red Army. A lot to celebrate. Maybe the start of something special for Richmond. First of 4 consecutive home matches as Fitch works it wide. for Owain Gordon. Owain Gordon tries to play it centrally, deflects off the foot of Kapazuki for a WW Nash & Sons corner kick in the 90th minute. Well, Richmond healthy for the first time this season. They have all their top dogs in there. They have performed to the highest of levels. Content just to let the clock run away. Again out for a WW Nash & Sons corner kick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official indicating 3 additional minutes. 3 minutes extra.
Initial indications of 3 minutes of stoppage time. Baldock just playing that corner game. So Richmond Kickers, they remain home for the next 3 matches. They host Tormenta on Saturday. That is the Dog Days of Summer match, as we touched on before. Bring your dog out to the stadium. Going to be a great night in Richmond. And they follow it with 2 more Saturday home matchups. They welcome Charlotte Independence for any of the homestand against Northern Colorado Hailstorm. And Chattanooga, they host Union Omaha. They are in dire need of a win this Saturday night, and they head out west to Fresno against Fuego FC. Can they salvage something from this one? Can they find a late goal? Mansingen's cross is kicked away by Simon Fitch, the Richmond native who played his college ball at Virginia. At VCU. He is RVA through and through. This is just the 4th corner kick of the night for Chattanooga to Richmond's 9. Low cross in, headed away. Comes to Hernandez. He says, why not? And Fitzgerald is there. He adds to his save total. Now at a league-leading 29 saves. Baldock. He goes down very hard. Baldock, who entered as a substitute, approaching 100 career appearances with Richmond. Has been with this club since 2017, and something I mentioned before, you see so many return players, and they speak so highly about this franchise, about the fan support, about the passion. And that continuity is so crucial. You see so many clubs with a lot of roster turnover. Really not the case with Richmond. And there is the final whistle. Richmond Kickers exercise their demons. They have long struggled against Chattanooga Red Wolves, but Darren Sawatsky, boy must this feel good, as he takes down the Red Wolves. A 3-goal first half, a joyous night for the Red Army, as Richmond Kickers, who were winless in May, they turned the page of the calendar and come up with an emphatic victory. 3-0 the final, as they take down Chattanooga and move to 3-3-2 in the season, now 11 points on the season. And it is a Puritan Cleaners clean sheet for the one, the only Akira Fitzgerald, the league leader in saves. Wasn't tested all too frequently tonight, only at 2, but he was up to the task. And a reminder, when the Kickers win, you win at Drive Shack. And it was a 3-0 performance. 2 of those goals, at least a good contribution from this man, Ethan Bryant. our Cater CPA man of the match. Had 2 assists, a couple of corner kick goals. A wonderful performance for him. The man from Longview, Texas, stamps his mark on this one. A 3-0 victory for Richmond Kickers at home. First of 4 home matches. And let's take a look at our save of the match. It was a clean sheet for Kier Fitzgerald. Wasn't tested much, but here it was. Our save of the match brought to you by Impossible Pumps. And these fans were in for a good one. A 3-0 win for Richmond. When we get back, we'll have stats and highlights for you and updated standings. 3-0 the final from the River City. Back after this on ESPN+.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
At Greenswell Growers, we combine innovative technology, sustainable practices, and a passion for local. With a commitment to plants first, we have unwavering standards for growing products that yield the best taste in order to create the happiest customers. Because everyone deserves access to clean, safe, nutritious food. Little greens, big heart. Learn more at greenswellgrowers.com.
3-0 the final, and what a night it was for Richmond Kickers as they exchanged pleasantries with the Red Army. And it was 3 first-half goals that got the job done. And we're going to take a look at the match that was and those 3 goals. So Richmond Kickers, Chattanooga Red Wolves. Remember, Richmond just 2-7 all-time against Chattanooga. 35th minute, corner kick. Bryant hooking up with Nathan Awney. Awney's first goal off the top of his head. 3 minutes later, same situation. Corner kick a little bit deeper, and it's the other center back, Jalen Chrysler. His first goal after missing last match, 2-0. Great first half, gets even better. Bryant able to shovel it out. An extra feed to Baima. Leonardo Baima. What a goal this was. Left-footed strike. An absolute banger as he rocks it past Tor Saunders. 3-0 the final. And a dominant performance by Richmond Kickers. 11 shots, 6 of which ended up on target. And one thing that wasn't shown, the corner kicks, 9 corners for Richmond, just 4 for Chattanooga, as the Kickers pick up a 3rd all-time win against Chattanooga. So here's where we stand. And with that victory, Richmond Kickers now moves above Chattanooga. Richmond sits in that 4th spot, 11 points, and they're +5 on goal differential. That is huge. That is the largest goal differential in League One action. That could be very beneficial for them as this season progresses. So a great performance for them tonight. And they're back in action 6:30 this weekend. A quartet of Saturday matches. A jam-packed slate that starts in Richmond, ends in Madison. And of course, all 4 of those matches can be seen live right here on ESPN+. Well, it was quite the night if you're a Richmond Kickers fan, player, or coach. A lopsided performance. Set piece extraordinaires. Not once, but twice. As they pick up a big victory in their first of 4 home matches in a row. A big thanks to all of you for joining us Richmond Kickers victorious 3-0 on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.